So that is what the Prime Minister said a little earlier. And like I said, he's going to be addressing all his allies, and perhaps we'll have, their entire live coverage that begins close to about 8 tonight, Shravan. But what is your larger sense, as you have seen for the very first time, both these possible alliances that will be pitted against each other come the big battle of 2024. You have 38 parties on one side, you have 26 on the other. One is the I.N.D.I.A, the other is India. The larger glue, I think, that gets the entire opposition together is clearly corruption, as the Prime Minister has targeted. But, Shravan, we must also not underscore the fact that there is corruption that the BJP will also have to deal with. The Prime Minister has been very clear that this is a government that has zero tolerance to corruption. And then the latest example that is cited is about what happens in Maharashtra. The challenge is also about the Parivarvad parties, a lot of them that are right now, in attendance at that big I.N.D.A meet.
Well, in fact, as I was mentioning earlier, Deepthi, that this is a perception battle of two alliances. One alliance which has basically come together. One, there is no doubt about the fact that this is about countering the Modi factor. Whether the opposition likes to admit that or not, but the opposition parties have been saying that this is an alternative to what they have been saying, an autocratic government. Here, democratic institutions should be valued, and that is exactly what the opposition parties would be doing. Having said that, the Bharatiya Janata Party has essentially labelled this, as the Prime Minister says, it's a conglomeration of corrupt parties, those who are facing corruption allegations. But at the same time, let's not forget, the opposition parties have been raising 2 points. One, that how is it that some of their own leaders, the Bharatiya Janata Party leaders starting from the state of West Bengal, who actually faces corruption allegations, they too have actually been garlanded. In fact, if you really look at the allegation that the Trinamool Congress has been levelling against Bharatiya Janata Party, is their leaders who have been named in Sharada Chit Fund scam and several others. For instance, as far as Ajit Pawar is concerned in the state of Maharashtra, let's not forget that you've had the top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party in the run-up to the previous assembly polls. They've actually gone ahead and actually said that it is Ajit Pawar who in the days to come, when the Bharatiya Janata Party comes to power, would be chakki piecing. Now, that is exactly what Devendra Fadnavis had to say about Ajit Pawar. Today, Ajit Pawar happens to be the finance minister of the state of Maharashtra. He was here. We saw him along with Praful Patel entering. So, yes, there are, this battle is going to continue. But it's become very clear what exactly would be the issue that both the alliances would be fighting on. The Bharatiya Janata Party says corruption happens to be one of the major issues. In fact, they say that the alternative, it is between a corruption-free government versus a corruption-tainted government. The guarantee that has been given by the opposition parties is nothing but about 20 lakh crore, corruption scams that have taken place. And in fact, in the days to come, perhaps the agenda would be basically to highlight every leader from these opposition parties who actually faces some very serious allegations. Having said that, the poll bugle has already been sounded by both the alliances. The I.N.D.A, as the meeting is basically underway, you have 38 parties, the number could actually go up. On the other hand, 26 parties of the opposition parties have basically come together. But challenges, lie for both sides. The opposition parties will have the biggest challenge of ensuring that go beyond the perception. How exactly will they come to, find a truce when it comes to seat sharing, especially in states like Uttar Pradesh, that of course in Kerala, in West Bengal, you name it. There are several states where they're going to find it extremely difficult to come to terms with. And exactly who is going to be the face of the opposition parties? As far as the I.N.D.A is concerned, remember, it is about the Prime Minister. In fact, J.P. Nadda has given out the roadmap saying that these parties have now come together only because they believe that one single party cannot take ahead the development agenda. It is all parties coming up from different states. They will have to come together to carry forward the development message. So the positioning that has been done, the Prime Minister has made it very clear that corruption is very important because the country has suffered because of various corruption scams. And he says that the only guarantee that the opposition is going to give is nothing but corruption guarantee.
Okay, and interestingly, there are a lot of parties that got no invite for this meeting in Delhi or Bengaluru. Those are the fence sitters, but then they also hold a considerable sway over a number of Lok Sabha seats. So I think in the next few days, you will see a lot of movement coming in. The opposition's next meeting happens in Maharashtra. That is where they say the convener will be decided. But like I said, a lot could change depending on how the Prime Minister decides to respond to what the opposition has just announced. So what we'll do is we'll quickly head into a break right now. But on the other side, this is a non-stop rolling coverage that continues the big battle of 2024. The teams are already ready.